Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of HMF Live. Hope you guys are having an awesome Tuesday and a good start to your week. And hopefully you haven't gotten hit by more snow. It was kind of scaring us earlier with some snow. I'm hoping that it was a one and done kind of thing, but I guess we'll see. So as I have kind of blasted all over my different social media pages, tonight I'm going to be talking about ways to help you make sure you stay consistent with your workouts. So I'm actually going to be giving you 6 tips tonight. When I talk to a lot of folks, one of the biggest struggles whenever I have kind of a series of questions that I ask people when I'm trying to get them started. And hey, Delma, thanks for tuning in. One of those, is, kind of tell me about things that you've tried in the past, or what's your biggest obstacle, lack of time, motivation, knowledge, things like that. And so in the course of my sort of interview, I guess, if you will, a lot of people tell me, well, I've tried and I couldn't stick with it, especially when it comes to diets. That's a whole different story. But workouts, I start out and then I fizzle out, either because it was too hard or I just didn't have anybody motivating me, or I just, for whatever reason. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't stick with their workouts. So I thought, tonight I'm going to give you guys the 6 tips to help you stick to your workouts. And these are actually tips that I use on a pretty much regular basis. So hopefully you'll be able to take some of these, if not all of them, honestly, and be able to use them in your own routine, your own habit building, so that way working out is just a part of your lifestyle. So as you can tell, I just worked out not too long ago, and I try not to go a day without working out unless my schedule calls for it. Even on my rest days, I do something kind of active recovery, like a stretch or yoga or something like that, just to keep, a little bit active, but still let my body repair, rest, and recover. So it's just a part of my life now. I don't, I tell people when I'm scheduling things, well, I got to make sure I get my workout in and then I'll be free after this time. So it's part of my routine. No different than getting up and brushing my teeth. So let's get into the tips. If you have questions along the way, or if you watch this later and you have questions later, post them and I will still respond. So thanks for watching, whether it's here live or later on. So tip number 1, find your soulmate workout. Now, what do I mean by soulmate workout? It's got to be something that you're going to enjoy. It's got to be something that you're going to look forward to. So maybe that's something like dancing. I know a lot of people who like size, or who like Zumba, or who take salsa lessons. Whatever it is, make sure it's something that you enjoy. Maybe you love lifting weights. I like lifting weights. Right now, I'm totally digging the MMA kickboxing workout. Been doing this thing now for 4 months and I still freaking love it, and it still challenges me and it still makes me sweat like crazy. So something that you're going to look forward to. If it's a workout that you just absolutely dread, you're going to fizzle out because you're either too challenged, it's too hard for you from where you're starting out, or it's too boring. I'll be honest, for me, I know a lot of people who enjoy country heat, and I've done it once, and it was, it was okay. It was a little bit fun, but for my particular taste, it was too slow for me. I love size because it made my mind work a little bit harder, and it was more of a challenge in a different way. Country heat just was not challenging enough for me where I'm at in my fitness now. Now, if I had started with that years ago when I was starting out, it probably would have been pretty perfect, because I do enjoy dance. I do enjoy dance workouts. So find your soulmate workout, things to consider too when you're trying to select a workout. And these are also questions that I ask people sort of when I do an intake with them. Time constraints. Are you a super busy person? If that's the case, something like P90X and an hour-long workout ain't for you. You just don't have the time. But something like 22-minute hardcore, or 10-minute trainer, or T25, those could all work because they are much shorter and they're still very effective. What's your fitness level? If you are just starting out, I would say most people, now there are a rare few who, even if they have 100, 200 pounds to lose, they're ready here to take on something super challenging like P90X. Or like Insanity. And I have seen it happen, but that is, in my opinion, more rare. If you are just starting out, I want you to be successful. I'm going to tell you to start with something that is not so intense and isn't maybe as long. So something like 21-day fix, or something like a dance class, or something like yoga. You know, something that kind of eases you into getting used to working out. What are your preferences? Do you like dance? Do you hate dance? Do you like weightlifting? Do you like yoga? You know, all of those things, what you do and don't like, both of those things are very important. And then location. Would you rather work out at home? That's me. Or would you rather work out at the gym? So that's some people. Or both. You like to be able to take and do both options. Knowing that is important. And then find a coach, or if you're going to the gym, find a trainer. Somebody that can work with you to help you also figure it out. So a coach like me, if you're looking for at-home fitness programs, you know, I'm more than happy to go through the series of questions to help you figure out the right program or right options for you. Okay, number 2, that was tip number 1. Tip number 2, schedule your workouts at a time that you are most likely able to do it and will stick to it. So if you are not a morning person, like it is just a bear of a challenge for you to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning to get your workouts in, don't force yourself into a morning workout. Unless you absolutely have no option in your schedule. That was me for a little while. I didn't have any other time other than 4 o'clock in the morning, so I made myself do it, but that's because I wanted it that bad. If you're not at that place mentally and you're just starting to kind of dabble, fit it into the spot where you have the time that is going to work best for your schedule and that you're most likely to do it. Some people prefer to do it in the afternoon, evening after getting off of work. Some people prefer to do it late at night. Honestly, for the late night ones, I would only really recommend that if you have a schedule that doesn't start early in the morning, because if you work out too close to bedtime, that can affect your sleep. And then you'll be tired, and then you won't want to work out, and it's a perpetual cycle. So, but timing still is key, knowing yourself and your preferences. Also, write it down. Write it down in your calendar, whether it's, you know, a book calendar, whether it's your phone. You can set alarms and reminders to go off, but actually schedule your workouts. I have a nice little calendar auto scheduler thing in my Team Beachbody account that I go in, I pick out the program, I'm going to do quarter force, and boom, and I tell it what time, and it schedules my whole month, and then it's done. And then when I do my meal plans every Sunday and I write down what I'm going to eat, at the bottom of each of those days, I also write down what workout I'm going to do that day. So I write it down. Even after all these years, even after the fact that I work out every day, I still write it down because it has helped me stay successful. And then, you know, consider your workouts. This is still part of tip 2, by the way. Consider your workouts as appointments or meetings with yourself. Wouldn't you just be so pissed off if you had a meeting with a dentist, or appointment with the dentist or doctor, and they just canceled on you? I know I hate waiting when they're late. So why would you cancel on yourself? It's the same thing. If you scheduled yourself to work out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, don't bail on yourself. Work out, get it done. I mean, even if it's only if it's a 30-minute program, if it's a 10-minute program, just freaking do it. Don't cancel on yourself just because you're letting yourself off the hook. In the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to be miserable about the fact that you missed your workout. All right, tip number 3, get an accountability system or an accountability buddy, or both. For me, I didn't really have anybody. I'll be honest, I have to give a lot of credit to my husband, Gary, because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have challenge groups. I didn't have anybody else in my entire life who was working out, honestly. And I still wanted to make sure that I got up and did it 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was doing P90X. And so that was kind of my support. He wasn't doing it with me, but I still had that support. And he, a lot of times when I wanted to quit, if I wasn't seeing the scale moving, if I wasn't getting progress I wanted, he was the one who just, come on, keep going. You have to keep doing it. So having somebody do it with you is going to be even better. So either get a buddy who's going to work out with you, even if you're like at each other's houses. If you can go to the gym together, great. Or get plugged into an accountability, like a challenge group, which is, like the groups that I run every month. I get a group of people together. We're all working out. We're doing different programs. We're all on our own schedules at home, but we come together to this online group to say, hey, I did my workout today. Hey, this is something that I ate today and it was super good. Or, hey, I had my Shakeology today. Accountability. We support one another. So you'd be surprised at how effective the online groups can actually be. But you need a system. And then if you do have a buddy, don't let each other slip. Don't let each other off the hook. Like, oh, I'm tired. I'm not going to the gym today. No, you're going to go. I'm going to come and I'm going to pick you up right now. Or I'm going to come over to your house and we're going to work out right now. You need to be that kind of tough. You know, if you're sick, it's one thing, but don't just let each other off the hook. Number 4, get a coach. Or if you go to the gym, get a trainer. But somebody who can hold you accountable in case your friend doesn't. Somebody who also is willing to track your progress. Who can provide support and guidance, who cares about you as a person, not just that you're after results or not just that you're going to buy some product from them or that you're just going to pay for their services, but actually cares about you as the person. And doesn't take a cookie cutter approach. Whether it's a coach or a trainer, they shouldn't take a cookie cutter approach, because if I'm coaching a 45-year-old woman, I certainly can expect the same results to happen or the same sort of tools or whatever to work it the same way it does for her as it would if I were coaching a 25-year-old guy or a 25-year-old woman. It just doesn't work that way. And not only that, every single body is different. So I have to figure out, you know, as a coach, I try to figure out as much as I can about the person, their habits, their preferences, and your coach or trainer should do the same. Okay, number 5, track your workouts and progress. If you are tracking your workouts, whether it's a calendar and you mark off X's, there is something psychological about writing it down and crossing it out. For me, it's in my online calendar. It changes color. It goes from, I think it goes from blue to green when I've done it. And I like to see my whole calendar look green. And on my whiteboard, when I erase stuff, I erase meals and workouts as I go along. And I like to see a nice white, clean, wiped out whiteboard by the end of the week because I have eaten everything in my meal plan and I have done all my workouts. It just, psychologically, it's a trigger, I guess. It's a positive trigger for me, but I've kind of trained myself to like, that's my little accomplishment. I don't know, maybe that makes me sort of neurotic, but it still does work. So track your workouts, track your progress. Now this is a super, super hard one for people. And I have my challengers do it every time we start a new group. Take your starting weight, take your starting pictures and measurements, and they hate it. I'm just going to put that out there. You probably will too. I did when I first did it. I hated looking at those pictures and I'm seeing those numbers. But I can now also tell you on the other side of that, I am so glad that I did. In fact, I'm glad I have my 2009 stats. I wish I had my 2005 stats when I really first started way back in the day with Yoga Booty Belly, because I was a lot bigger back then. But I don't have it. I just have pictures of me doing random things that, you know, not workouts or anything. But track it, because even now, after all these years, I still take my starting weight measurements, photos when I start a new program. And seeing the difference, even if you don't see it in the numbers, you're going to start seeing it in the pictures. It makes a difference and it keeps you motivated. So track your progress as well. Finally, tip number 6. Let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, we're good. Okay, so tip number 6. Set a goal and reward system. So you're going to do this a couple of different ways. Set a big goal. So maybe your goal is to lose 100 pounds by next year or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. And that's great. And then within that, though, I want you to set sort of milestone goals, like things that you can accomplish along the way. So you have these early and quick wins and you build momentum and it keeps you motivated. So maybe it's like, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds in 2 months or something like that. You can kind of determine what feels right to you. And then give yourself, with those incremental goals, give yourself a reward system. So when I lose 20 pounds, I'm going to go get a mani-pedi for maybe some of you ladies. Or when I hit the 50-pound mark, I'm going on a shopping spree. Or when and then give yourself a big reward. When I hit 100 pounds, maybe your goal is like by a wedding or something, then your reward is going to be how amazing you're going to feel maybe on your honeymoon, something like that. So But give yourself the big goal, big reward, but set some smaller goals and smaller rewards along the way. And this one's key, make sure that those rewards are not food related, because that's one of the first things we want to do. Oh, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to go have like this big ass dinner, cheeseburger and beer and all that. I'm like, and then you just undid everything that you just worked so hard for. So non-food related rewards. Could be shopping, could be spa day, could be a trip, whatever kinds of stuff that you like to do, but non-food related rewards. So those are your 6 tips. I will recap them real quick. And then hopefully you can let me know if you decide to try even one of these. I think all of these are pretty doable, but try taking 1 or 2 of them that seem to be maybe the easiest for you. Try implementing them and see how you do. And, check in with me. Send me messages like, hey, I'm trying this, came up across this obstacle. How do I get around it? All that kind of stuff. I want to hear about it. So here are your 6 tips. Find your soulmate workout. And if you need help with that, let me know. Number 2, schedule your workouts at a time of day that you're most likely able to stick to them. So if you're a night owl, probably afternoon or evening. If you're an early bird and you like to start your day with a good sweat, which, that's kind of how I am, go for the morning. Number 3, get an accountability system and or buddy. So if you would like to be plugged into like one of my online groups, the online communities, let me know. Always love taking new folks. Number 4, get a coach or trainer if you're going to the gym. I will say you do have to pay a lot extra for trainers, so you might have to work that one out within your budget. Number 5, track your workouts and progress. And then number 6, set a goal and reward system. Remember, big goal, big reward, but have your smaller goals and smaller rewards along the way. So those are your 6 tips. I hope that you find at least a couple of them helpful. As always, give me feedback. If you try them out and they're working, I want to hear about it. If you try them out and they don't work for you, I also want to hear about it. Maybe we can problem solve and figure out how to make this more of a habit for you. But there are ways to do it. So you don't have to be out there by yourself trying to figure it out. All right, guys, you are awesome. Thanks for watching, whether it's now or later. And if you've got any questions, definitely hit me up. I am always available. And even if you comment after the video has been recorded and posted, I will still respond. So have an awesome rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your week. And I will talk to you again I'll see you on Saturday for team shoutouts. And then again next Tuesday for HMF Live. Stay tuned for the topic. I don't know what it is yet. I probably should do a better job of planning that out in advance, but I'm a see the pants kind of girl sometimes. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Have a happy, healthy night and happy, healthy day. Bye.